factor impacting degradation included soil erosion, nutrient depletion, or land use change. The main concept, we tried to do main concept for soil health assessment, try to gather as much information or analysis from the soil to be able to put all of them in one assessment to determine the quality or the progress of soil. If it is increasing the soil quality, improving quality, or degrading the soil. With our main goals, we have three main goals. The first one was to build soil organic carbon, increase carbon sequestration, and improve soil health with measuring different management. And we analyze soil physical, chemical, and biological indicators. We'll get to that in a minute. And the third one is to build soil biodiversity or soil microbiome. But in this study, in this presentation, I will not talk about biodiversity because of the limited time.
Mm-hmm.
And for this study, we had two different farms, two ranch, one in Tennessee and the other one in Missouri. The one in Tennessee is a small farm, just small information, background about the farm. It has about more than 130 acres under different management, different trees, the forage. A lot we'll get in details for this in a minute. And this property we collect in Tennessee, and let's get to and Missouri. In Missouri, it's much larger. It's more than 4,000 acres. Each dot of this we collect deep core samples. We have about in both Tennessee and Missouri have around 560 soil cores from both properties, with the majority from Missouri. And each dot of this represents just one core. As I mentioned, 560 cores. Around each one of these, we collect about 6 to 8 hand samples from shallow depth, 010 and 1020 for biological analysis. The core sample, we used it mainly for physical and chemical analysis. And in Tennessee and Missouri, we divided both farms or ranch to five or three different categories. The first one in both Tennessee and Missouri, it's the 52 acres. These 52 acres we split the entire 52 acres to 0.7 acre, move large animals like buffaloes, sheep, goat, then followed by chicken. We had about 46 buffaloes, 106 sheep, and 86 goats. We move them every day from paddocks to another. They will come back to the same spot once every 70 days. And this number of ruminant followed by small birds, chicken and ducks, in total about 3,000, both of them. And in addition to that, every day we add 10 to 12,000 pounds of scrap organic food. This in both Tennessee and Missouri. The second category was cover crop without cover crop without any grazing. We seeded cover crops for making bales to be able to support part of the operation for grazing, but not entirely. We seeded the cover crops 3 times a year, summer, spring, and fall. The third category is no cover crops, no grazing, which included greenhouses or orchard. In Tennessee, we had about 82 greenhouses. As you see, all of them, they were diseased during the production. But unfortunately, because of the hurricane, most of them been out of service. We only functioned the first 5 houses. Plant them with all tropical trees. In Missouri, you have the orchard is still working because it's open field. The fourth category is ruminant on after seeded cover crops. On cover crops during the entire, we plant them 3 times a year. Every day you will find that all of them, the soil is covered 365 days a year, almost. We compare all of these to grazing on native grass. We don't apply any cover crops, just the grass, the common grass in land in Tennessee and Missouri. And we collect soil sample from all of these properties, the one in Tennessee and Missouri. We collect the two types of soil, the core sample, which we use mainly for chemical and physical analysis, and the moist sample we keep moist with the hand sample. We dry all sample except the hand sample. We don't dry them because we use them for biological analysis. We keep them in refrigerator at 4C until analysis. And this almost all analysis we have done in the lab and at the field. Some of these analysis we have done in the field, like soil penetration or infiltration. In addition to the biological, we do two parts of biological here, respiration and active carbon. We have results for this in this presentation, but we'll not talk about the phospholipid fatty acid because it's by itself needs like much more time to talk about the microbial diversity. But if anybody need any information about this, you can just send me an email. I'll reply back. The first physical parameter was wet aggregate stability. We have seen like huge change from depend on the treatment during the first and second year. But this is the first year results. We have seen like huge stability, big stability where no cover crops and no grazing. Because like impact was minimized by any type of animals. We have seen this in both Tennessee and Missouri. And but on the other side, we have like the carbon or carbon nitrogen ratio. It's like we don't have any problem with that. It's most of them, and especially on the topsoil, it's under like in the mineralization carbon, like some of them replaced and going back to organic matter. And we almost going in here like to the 15 on the lower depth. The only problem we found was like the 10 to 20. And we are working on this, try to see what's the problem with that portion of the soil. But rather than that, it's like it's going like it's going okay in Tennessee. And the same issue in Missouri, you don't have any problem. But we have seen like impact of treatment from one to another. And the carbon stored on like in this study, this is the initial carbon. We cannot like say it's carbon sequestered because this like we didn't sequester at the time because this is the initial sampling. The amount of carbon already on the soil before we do any of our treatments. This was the first year because the second one will start collecting this sample next year to be able to see how much we increase, how much we added carbon in the soil, because it's like 1 or 2 years, it doesn't build much. And we have found that in Missouri, the highest level, it's like below 40 megagram per hectare, while in Tennessee, up to 50. We have like, but this we cannot see like as we see some changes because from the previous management change from the 52 acres or the mixed grazing to the one graze without or with cover crops in Tennessee or Missouri. And the good thing here in the chemical part, almost the soil pH almost like similar. We didn't see any significant change. All of them or most of them in the within the 6 range in both Tennessee and Missouri. However, for the available nitrogen, we have seen some different or some changes in during because of the management. Like we have seen significant increase in Tennessee during within about 6 to 7 months. because this could be related to what has been added to this specific spot from the soil. And the same, we have seen the same in Missouri. And we have seen like this is available nitrogen. It's like significant change among treatments. In terms of micro nutrient, we have seen some improvement, and on the other side, some increase, unneeded increases. Like for phosphorus, we have found like huge increase, which we don't need. Like we don't like this increase of phosphorus because phosphorus has environmental impact. We are working on this one, how to reduce the phosphorus and in the soil. In potassium, we have no problem with increasing the potassium in both Tennessee or Missouri. But in Tennessee, we have like less increase. We have controlled the soil. We didn't add any phosphorus content product. And in Missouri, they used to add like about 2 to 4 tons of organic manure, which has like huge amount of phosphorus. We stopped this addition just last spring 2023, in hope to control the increase of phosphorus or reduce it. And also we started changing some of the cover crop mix. We try to add more grass than legume. Another issue found in Missouri, not in Tennessee, the calcium concentration. We have seen like calcium concentration in some spots above 2,000 ppm. And we spoke with the manager there or the director. We in the process of reducing this calcium, because they used to add about 2 tons per acre of eggshell. Eggshell has huge amount of calcium. We stopped that last year. After we got these results, we told them this soil has a problem with calcium concentration, and we recommend them to stop this addition. And we have seen some improvement in calcium, but it's improving very slow. And in Tennessee, we have control. We have like almost controlling this. It's like you can see here. It's like below 1,000 in the topsoil, and we are working on that also to reduce this amount by planting some crops, some cover crops, especially like grass. And the same for micronutrients. We didn't see any toxicity on any problem up to now with micronutrients, all of them on the safe side. And limit, except like some of spot has higher iron. Yeah, this the most important part, like with the organic matter. The initial was some of the soil has about up to 4 ppm, 4% organic matter. And that's what we try, like the main goal to improve or increase this amount to up to 7%. But we have spoke with them. It will take us around 5 to 7 years to increase it just by 1%. And we still like adjusting our treatment accordingly to see if we can reach to the 7% by 2030, or it will be difficult to get to that point. One of the most important part is the active carbon, which like it's like we have some improvement in the active carbon, but it's still fluctuating up and down. This like we cannot, like this was the first one. The 2020 was in late September, and that one we just got it early June. Then we didn't expect to see increase. We see like to see how the pattern is working, how it is, if it is increasing or decreasing, is it related to the weather or the management. And we plan to collect some more of this of soil sample to analyze it for active carbon during next sampling time, which we collect sample like twice a year from both properties. And we have seen also some is the same pattern with carbon dioxide as soil respiration. We have seen like declining from September to June, significant declining, but this could be like related to the weather, and we will be able to determine that when we collect next sampling, and we'll match it or compare it to the previous standard one we have. This is the conclusion of our assessment for the first 2 years. We have found like the one in Missouri has significant increase in the one with ruminant grazing on cover crops, but this is the 2-year under Missouri condition. The highest increase was about 20 points from 62 to 82. As well, with the other, we have some improvement, but it's still not as ruminant with cover crops. In Tennessee, it's little different than what we found in Missouri. The highest one was from the mixed grazing under in 22 compared to the one collected in 23. This is a two-year difference and improvement on the soil assessment. We have seen much improvement in the mixed grazing compared to the other management. Some of them like ruminant grazing without cover crops, we have seen some declining in Tennessee. We didn't see that in Missouri. And this acknowledgement for all people helped in this study or collecting sampling and analysis. And thank you for having me today. And thanks for your time. And I'll be happy to answer any question you have.